Hello everyone and welcome back to Brink of Speed. Did GM really leak the Nürburgring time for the C8 ZR1? Today we're going to talk about that. But before we get into it, do me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up button, also the red subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified, and help me reach my goal of 100,000 subs between now and the end of the year. All right, let's get into this video. I'm going to do a POV drive for you and discuss my 4 points about why I think GM released the video that they did over the weekend. Let's get going. All right, so let's firstly talk about the video that GM put out on, or Chevy put out on Instagram. And I'm gonna show that to you real quick. It's only like 10 seconds long. So I'll show it to you real quick and then we'll get into the discussion. All right, so now that you've seen that, correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, I believe this is the first time that Chevrolet has ever put out a video like this. I don't think they've ever shown them being at the Nürburgring for any kind of lap time run or anything really. I mean, they've definitely shown them being at the Nürburgring, you know, with the Z06, and when that came out, they showed them going on the Nürburgring and things, but they didn't tease us with a short little 10-second video like this, like they've done with the ZR1 or maybe ZR1X. I personally think it's the ZR1. Some think it's both ZR1X and ZR1. So there's a lot of speculation out there, and I want to clear the air with my own thoughts about it. If you're thinking that I'm thinking the same as what pretty much a lot of other people are out there saying about that it was done on, you know, this video was released on the 28th, which was just a couple of days ago, that GM was trying to tell us that they got a 6-minute and 28-second time. I believe that is false. I believe most of the time there are no coincidences, but I certainly think that this is a coincidence. And the reason why I think that I'll get into later on, but I don't believe that's the case. I think that they were just showing us that they're very serious about giving us a lap time from the ring, and they already know what it is. I guarantee you they already have hit a really good time, and they're just kind of teasing us with the fact that you guys are getting a time. You guys have asked for it, you're getting it. And let me just, I think I've expressed this before on the channel, but let me just explain why I think that GM they actually had to give us a time. So number one, because ever since they came out with the mid-engine platform, they've put themselves in a completely different category. I think you'll agree with that. But the variant after the next variant after the next variant, they've slowly crept into even crazier territory, going from like, okay, now it's pretty much a supercar because of the way it looks, the way it handles, the way it drives, and the power, to the Z06. Okay, now it's a supercar. To the E-Ray. Okay, now it's definitely a supercar because of, look at the acceleration that this car does. And now to the ZR1, you know, I personally believe it's a hypercar. I know there's a lot of you out there that think, no, it's gonna cost this much, it's gotta have carbon fiber for the tub, the whole car's gotta be carbon fiber, it's gotta be this rare, you know, yada, yada, yada. But to me, it's all a performance thing. So the more they crept into the space that they're in now, the more that the consumer, the actual person buying the cars from GM, is gonna want proof that they're buying a car that's just as good, if not better, than the cars that they would normally purchase for a lot higher price. And so GM actually did this to themselves, which I think was smart, but they actually caused the reason why they have to now go ahead and go out to the ring and prove themselves. Because I don't care what anybody says, You can go to any American track and it's nothing compared to the ring. I don't care which track you pick in America. It doesn't compare to the ring, not just because of the distance, mostly because of all of the crazy turns, crazy elevations, crazy, you know, all the different surfaces that you're driving on, so on and so forth. So that's really the biggest reason why I believe that we are finally going to get a time at the Nürburgring from GM, and we'll probably get multiple times. They took a Z06 there, they took the ZR1X there, so I think we're going to get the Z06 and ZR1 right now, and then later on they'll give us the ZR1X time, and it'll probably be phenomenal as well. Right, so with all of that said, let me talk about what I'm predicting the ZR1 to do, because I want you guys to very clearly understand that I'm not one of those people that thinks this car is going to make it into the 620s. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody out there who stated that it could get into the 620s. I just don't think that's possible. And I think that my prediction is going to be closer to what the car probably does than anywhere near a 620, you know, 3 or 628 or whatever, you know, people are saying that they think this car could possibly do. So from the very beginning, once I heard the specs on the ZR1, once I heard, you know, what this car had, the downforce, the 233 miles per hour, all of that stuff, I predicted right away that I thought it would be probably mid 640s. And trust me, if this car hits mid 640s, it will gain enormous respect on the world stage because of the fact that there's only a few cars in the world that are true production manufactured cars that can get to the mid 640s. And so that was my prediction at that point. However, once I saw what the ZR1 was capable of on all of the American tracks, I changed it up a little bit. And I decided that I thought that this car could probably get to the low 640s and at its best, maybe like a 639. And that right there is what I'm sticking with. That is my prediction. And I'm telling you right now, if it hits worst case scenario 645, it's going to be an enormous win for Chevrolet, because they've never had a actual recorded lap on the Nürburgring with any of their cars under 7 minutes. And this is going to be way under 7 minutes. And it's going to defeat the other American manufacturer, which would be Ford, with their Ford Mustang GTD. That's a $340,000 car that's full carbon fiber. It's got crazy downforce. It's got a racing suspension, and it's got over 830 horsepower. I think they'll take that down no problem, but I also believe that there could be a possibility that the ZR1 makes it to either second or third position at the ring. All right, now up next, I want to talk to you about why I do not believe this car, the ZR1, will make it into the 620s, and that's what it's going to have to do to take down the world record Nürburgring lap time. So the AMG 1 is the world record holder, and I believe it's got a 6 minute and 28 second time. And we're talking about a completely apples to like grapes situation. Literally, it's that much different. And I'll explain why. The AMG 1 is basically a full-on race car. Yes, it is street legal, but it's basically a full-on race car. And the downforce of that car is tremendously higher than the downforce on the ZR1. It doesn't have exactly the same horsepower, but it is very similar in horsepower, but it's a lot lighter than the ZR1. And so I feel like the AMG one is not going to be beaten probably very long time. Now, the other cars out there, we've got the GT2 RS that was able to, and this is not the normal GT2 RS, it's more of a racy version of the GT2 RS. It was able to put down a lap time of 6:38. Do I think the ZR1 has it in it to do that? I don't know. The GT2 RS is also way, way lighter than the ZR1, and it has more downforce. Probably about 600 pounds more downforce than the ZR1. Now the ZR1 has a lot more power. It probably has 350 more horsepower. So that may make up for some things in the longer straights. But I don't believe that we'll probably see it dethrone that car, although I don't believe that that car should even really count. So the next one up that really should count would be the AMG Black Series, and that car hit a 643 and some change. Now that, I believe, will definitely go down if GM hits all the right markers, which means perfect weather, no traffic, great driver, and just no screw-ups, perfect laps. I truly believe that the ZR1 will definitely be able to take that 643 down, even if it's only by a few tenths. It'll still be a huge win, and to me, that's the next car that truly deserves to be on the just regular manufactured car list of Nürburgring lap times, or production cars is what I should say. So to wrap things up, my conclusion is, did GM tease us with super low lap time in the 620s? No, I do not believe so. Did they tease us with, hey, we're giving you guys a lap time finally? Yes, that's what the teaser was for, and that's what I believe we're gonna get, is probably, like I said, several lap times. And I think that people should set their expectations correctly, and your expectations should not really leave the 640s. So, as usual, I want to hear what you guys think. I wanted to do this video back on Saturday when all the news came out, but I was just too busy with family, and so it just wasn't going to work out for me to do a video. So I'm getting it out to you now. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you think the ZR1 is capable of. I'm not going to even discuss the ZR1X yet, because we want to hear what the ZR1 does first before we start speculating on ZR1X. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Smash that red subscribe button. Wow, it never gets old. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you guys out on the road.